Welcome back, Truth Seekers, to the True Alien Podcast,
Back for more.
your daily dose of the strange, the unexplained, and the downright bizarre.
All things weird.
I'm your host, Adrian Smith, and as always, we dive into the true stories. Aliens, abductions, UFOs, Bigfoot, you name it.
Unexpected stories.
Unexpected stories.
With a little humor.
With a little humor and fun along the way. We're going to be separating fact from fiction with our resident expert, Julia Jones.
Hi, everyone.
So, Julia, are you ready to dive into the unexpected?
Always ready.
Wonderful. We're calling today's paranormal probe Close Encounters of the Awkward Kind.
Awkward.
Oh, yeah. Based on the sources you sent me, this one is going to be a wild ride.
Sounds fun.
An astronomy-loving teen inadvertently signals an alien race.
Classic.
Right. We're going to unpack this surprising chain of events, and we're going to see how Earth reacted.
And humans being humans, I am sure there was quite the reaction.
There was quite a reaction, so strap yourselves in, get ready for an aha moment, because the way this all starts is pretty wild. Our story centers around Astra, a teenager with a real passion for astronomy. She would spend countless hours gazing at the night sky.
She was quite the stargazer.
She was, but she was also quite shy, and those late-night stargazing sessions were as much about finding peace as they were about exploring the cosmos.
It sounds like the vastness of space offered her some kind of solace.
Absolutely. But here's the thing. Her interest wasn't just passive observation. According to the pasted text, Astra had this incredible knack for taking discarded technology and, well, bringing it back to life.
So she was like a tech wizard, a bit of a tinkerer.
A total tech wizard. This ingenuity, trust me, plays a crucial role in how this whole thing unfolds.
I can only imagine.
She had this incredible jury-rigged radio dish.
Jury.
Think Frankenstein, creation of forgotten electronics. Her goal, ambitious.
What was she trying to do?
She was trying to pick up any faint signals from beyond Earth.
Wow, ambitious is right.
Right, a fool's errand, as the source material notes.
But driven by that persistent, well, human hope.
Exactly that. The desire to know if we're truly alone, and the fact that she built this device herself, that really highlights a proactive engagement with that question rather than just waiting for an answer.
So, late one night, she's out there tinkering, probably expecting nothing more than the usual cosmic background hum.
Right.
Until...
Until what?
Well, instead of a subtle whisper from the stars, Astra's makeshift setup unleashes, well, a roar.
A roar?
A roar! The pasted text even describes her telescope making a noise of protest.
Like it was physically reacting to the energy.
Exactly. And then the sky lights up, and this massive, impossibly huge ship appears right over her quiet, unsuspecting suburb.
Whoa, hold on. So she goes from potentially picking up a faint signal to having an undeniable physical presence just appear overhead. Talk about escalation.
Overwhelming is the only word for it. Astra's peaceful night explodes into utter chaos. Suddenly, the air is buzzing with news helicopters.
Oh, yes. And then come the government officials. Serious, no-nonsense types. They descend on her lawn, demanding answers that, let's be honest, Astra herself is probably still trying to process.
And her parents. I can't imagine what they were going through.
Right. They're caught in this whirlwind of disbelief. Maybe a flicker of pride mixed with a whole lot of fear about what their daughter might have inadvertently triggered.
1 minute you're dealing with teenage angst and homework. The next you're ground zero for extraterrestrial contact.
Specifically, talk about a Tuesday, right? And then the moment of truth. The beings emerge from this colossal ship. The pasted text describes them as tall and shimmering, not fitting any typical stereotypes.
So not the little green men we've come to expect.
Nope, nothing like that. And then, using some kind of advanced translation technology, they communicate. Their words are clear, but the content, well, the content is utterly bizarre.
So what did they say?
Okay, here's this. Their first message to humanity, directed at Astra. Greetings, pizza delivery recipient.
Pizza delivery recipient. What? After all the theories about complex universal languages and profound philosophical pronouncements, it all boils down to takeout.
It gets weirder. So, Astra's souped-up radio dish wasn't just reaching for the stars. It was apparently amplifying her old takeout orders, broadcasting detailed requests for extra cheese and specific dipping sauces across interstellar distances.
So the roar wasn't an alien transmission. It was the amplified echo of human hunger.
Exactly. It's the ultimate cosmic misdial. And in the middle of this intergalactic embarrassment, Astra does something remarkable. Faced with this utterly absurd situation, she finds a surprising inner strength.
Like all those quiet nights contemplating the universe gave her a strange sort of preparation for this bizarre diplomatic mission.
Exactly, she steps up, becomes Earth's completely unofficial ambassador to these shimmering beings.
A classic reluctant hero narrative.
Right, and her methods, endearingly human.
What does she do?
First, she tries to explain things using memes. Memes.
Weird.
Which, according to the pasted text, led to some perplexing interpretations.
I bet.
Then there was the challenge of explaining our fascination with celebrity pets.
How do you even begin to explain that?
Right. But the real diplomatic tightrope walk. A disastrously misinterpreted game of charades.
Oh no, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It was. Back on Earth, predictably all hell breaks loose. News outlets, they can't get enough of this.
What were they saying?
They cycle between portraying Astra as a visionary genius who achieved first contact and a dangerously unstable recluse who somehow manifested an alien invasion through her late-night snack cravings.
So basically they had no idea what to make of her.
And her science teacher, who probably barely registered her existence before this, suddenly becomes her biggest advocate, starts peppering her with questions about the intricacies of her homemade radio dish. And the neighborhood kids, who once mocked her stargazing hobby, are now constantly outside her house, clamoring for alien selfies.
Social dynamics get turned upside down.
Completely. But amidst all this chaos, Astra keeps her focus on that massive starship hovering overhead.
So what does she do?
Working with the aliens, using their advanced communication technology, she begins to send a new message.
What kind of message?
This time, not a list of pizza toppings. It's a message of peace, of curiosity, of the inherent quirkiness that defines humanity. The messy, beautiful reality of who we are. And sometimes, late at night, under a sky that suddenly feels a lot less empty, Astra sees a faint, flickering reply.
A deliberate attempt to redefine humanity's signal to the universe, born from the accidental broadcast of our more pedestrian desires. I love that.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? So here we are, the new reality. Astra, the once shy teenager, is now Earth's unlikely ambassador to the stars. And it all started because of something so utterly mundane, so perfectly human. A takeout order. This monumental event, first contact with an alien civilization, all thanks to pizza. Who would have thought?
It really is remarkable, and it makes you wonder, are we just one giant cosmic miscommunication away from a truly meaningful connection?
Maybe. What really stands out to you about this story, Julia?
The unexpectedness of it all. That something so ordinary, something we do every day, could have such extraordinary consequences. It begs the question, what other unintentional signals are we sending out into the universe?
You know, that's a great point. And it just goes to show that sometimes the most profound events can have the most unassuming beginnings.
And, of course, the power of empathy. Astra, despite the awkwardness, never gave up on trying to communicate. Even when things went hilariously wrong, she found a way to connect.
That's an important message for all of us, isn't it? So for our listeners out there, here's the takeaway from today's Paranormal Probe. Our first encounter with alien life wasn't some grand, meticulously planned affair. It was messy, accidental, and ultimately very human.
And who knows? Maybe the universe is full of civilizations just like ours, stumbling into these awkward first contact scenarios. Just imagine, somewhere out there, an alien race is probably trying to decipher our internet cat videos, convinced they hold the key to understanding humanity.
Oh, the possibilities are endless. On that note, thank you for joining us on this Paranormal Probe into the unknown. Until next time, keep looking up and maybe think twice about shouting your dinner order across the galaxy.